Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. So I'm gonna just give people just a few minutes to come into the room. And once you're here, let me know you're here and let me know y'all can see and hear me. Hey DJ Mozzie Field, hey Michael Ray, how are you guys? Hey Helena J. Let's see. So I can see y'all chats up here, okay. So happy Tuesday. Hopefully everybody is doing well. Gonna get a notification just a few minutes to go out. And then we'll talk a little bit about what's been going on in the news lately. And let me find this tweet. Hey that Hammond boy. Yes, I'm doing good. Pretty good as expected for a Tuesday, so and hopefully y'all are doing well as well. If you're new, definitely let me know where you're from. And let me see. I don't know why I always want to call this dude Andrew Cuomo, y'all. For some reason. But anyway. So, hey that guy from Texas. Welcome. What part of Texas are you from? And then we're going to jump right into it, y'all, because hey, Cajun. Okay. That. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay, we got Houston in the building. Welcome. My chats be lit. My lives. So welcome. But we're going to talk about a couple of things tonight, y'all. So we're going to talk a little bit more about this Jeffrey Epstein thing. And also, oh, God, I had to talk about y'all boy, Andrew Yang, crying the other day because I've been talking about these people who've been crying, getting their good cries in lately, and their cry points. So, look, Cajun, let's not fight. Okay, I'm gonna do some research this week, and I'll see how I can do that. And then maybe I'll do one like every alternating show or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Since you just gonna pressure me and bully me into doing a call-in show. Hey, Lavon. But anyway, so I don't know if y'all saw the other day, your boy Andrew Yang was basically talking. I forget where he was. Let me see. I don't know. But basically, this is in the wake of the mass shootings in Ohio and Texas. So he's on the road, I guess, campaigning or whatever. He was talking to a candidate. Thank you, Lavon. And was talking to a candidate and basically ended up crying. Hey, David. Hey, Roland. So let's go ahead and get into this first. Let's talk about Andrew Yang. Let me see. How do I share this again? Okay. Share screen. What I want to share. Okay. Hey, L2. Okay, let's look at this, y'all.
4.6 million American children live in homes with at least one gun that is loaded and unlocked, and hundreds of them gain access to a gun and unintentionally shoot themselves or someone else every year. As president, how would you address unintentional shootings by children?
I have a 6 and 3-year-old boy. That's what I'm imagining. I was imagining it was one of them that got shot, and the other saw it. I'm so sorry. The biggest downside of running for president for me has been that I don't get to see my family very much. So I get pictures, I FaceTime, I see pictures of my boys and just that.
Okay, so unlike the other candidates and news anchors and all these other people, I did actually see a couple of tears, y'all. I saw a couple of tears. I synced it with my own eyes. How do I don't even know how to stop sharing. Let's see. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. So, y'all, I saw a couple of tears. So just like a couple weeks ago, I talked about the whole Victor Blackwell thing and him, oh my God, obviously fake trying to cry, right? And here you have Andrew Yang crying here. Now, I will say that was pretty convincing. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, Elwood, that was pretty convincing. Hey, Boom Boom. It was pretty convincing. I seen a few tears. His personality, he seems to come across, just what's the word I'm looking for? He's a little bit more relatable, okay, I believe, than some of the other candidates as far as his like disposition and things like that. I would say this. But y'all, at this point, oh my God. At this point, okay, we had the black man cry, we had the gay woman cry, and now we had the Asian cry. And so, no, this is not like some type of the Asian, the black man, and a gay woman walk in a bar, because I know that's almost what it sounds like. But I'm trying to see if this is like a running theme now. You know what I mean? Like, I know everybody's trying to move to this culture where everybody's in their feelings. You know what I mean? Everybody's in their feelings and, really embracing everybody, the femininity and embracing the emotions and being, what's this other thing? Being transparent and this, that, and the other. Hey, George. So I told y'all last week, okay, we definitely don't, because I think a lot of this is orchestrated to some extent. They have us arguing over, just common sense issues, while there's a lot of sleight of hand going on within the government and with these elitists and stuff like this. And so I don't take lightly that people are losing their lives at all. Okay. I think it's very unfortunate. And I definitely send my condolences to people who are losing their children, because of everything going on right now. But at the end of the day, I told y'all this story about my friend last week. Okay. My friend, she is a nurse. Okay. When you are in certain jobs, when you're in certain positions, you see death. You see death, you see trauma, you see a lot of unfortunate situations. That is literally the job that you have at hand. And so anyway, my friend, this was like her first official shift or something, or maybe this was her first shift where they actually lost a patient in the ER. And this girl went in there and was crying and, just couldn't hold her emotions together. You know what I mean? And her supervisor after her came to her and was like, don't you ever do that again. Like, don't you ever do that again. You can't do that. Like, in this position, you have to have a certain demeanor. You have to have a certain disposition. And that is not telling people to lack empathy. That is not telling people not to be human. But if you are a freaking news anchor, a police officer, a detective, a politician, a nurse, a doctor, if you are I can't even think of what you call these people that work at the funeral home, but if you work at the funeral home, these are things you're gonna see. If somebody that always sees death, and I walk in a funeral home and you work there and you're crying, I'm gonna think you're an unstable person, right? So not only that, that's just only one side of it, right? So not only that, you are literally going up against Trump, right? And Trump is known for his tough, say what's on my mind, demeanor, exterior. And you have a lot of people that like that. I don't particularly care for that. But you have a lot of people, morticians, thank you, Edward. But you have a lot of people who like him for that very reason, like cutthroat, say what I gotta say, just to the point, sharp tongue. And you're gonna try to compete like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Oh, soldiers, that's a good one too, Levon. Soldiers, they have to contain their emotions. But think about that, right? Like, so a soldier is a perfect example because soldiers have to make really tough decisions. And if you're on a mission and you're seeing death around you, you're seeing despair, you're seeing all these people that are, traumatized, or it's just a really bad situation, you can't stop and cry. You can't stop. You can't cry. You can't stop to feel and take your emotions. And so now if you have a person that's running for president, you're going to have that exterior that says, I can handle those tough decisions, those sticky decisions, those decisions where sometimes people are casualties. Sometimes when commander, sends people to war, that front line, he knows that some of those people he's going to lose. But you can't be all in your feelings and not willing to make those tough decisions. And so you don't think that those expectations are even higher for somebody that's running for president? So I don't know. That was, that was just odd to me. So, and I forgot Angela Rye. So you got a black woman walking in the bar too. But anyway, so now Angela Rye, Victor Blackwell, what's the super conspiracy theory Russia lady? Rachel Maddow. And now add Andrew Yang to the list. So I don't know if this is kind of like where we're moving. But the emotional appeal that the news is taking at this point, like, is so nauseating to me, because you have so much of the media that focuses so much on the emotions of things. The emotions of things. And to me, okay, cool. You can talk about that, but we need to really know the truth, get down to the bottom of what's going on. That's why when y'all come to my channel, I don't focus on a lot of that he say, she say stuff. I see these politicians, what they be saying. I see stuff that Trump says. I see stuff that Joe Biden says. I see stuff that these people say that is just like, even what's the girl name? Alexandria Cortez. I see some of the stuff they saying, and it's not worth me talking about. It's just really not. I just don't think I just don't think it is. It's just not of importance. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, what are these people doing and trying to do? Like, the news emotionalizes us enough. So I don't really think y'all need me here for that, honestly. Because when any of this stuff happens, the social media is going to be talking about it. Everybody's going to be talking about it. But this whole crying thing, Levon said, emotions don't pay the bills nor get the job done. And that's like a big part of what I try to explain to people. Y'all have to know how to separate emotions from reality. Like, I feel too. You know what I mean? I have emotions too. But at the end of the day, things have to be done. You have to get stuff done. You have to make tough decisions. Like with the whole illegal immigration thing, I don't even see why it's still a big discussion. It's literally a common sense, just straight up common sense issue. Literally. Okay? Sometimes you are going to have to make decisions that may not be favorable to a few, because you are thinking about more, or you are thinking about the people that you actually represent. So sacrificing a few for the whole, you know what I mean? So I'm sure there are some immigrants that have very sob stories. They're looking for better lives, this and the other, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But you also have Americans trying to do the same. Okay? And those numbers, as far as representing those people, are a little bit higher. So sometimes the scale is just going to tip that way. And what people don't understand about that, I mean, I just don't even know. I'm like almost so completely over talking about the illegal immigration thing. People are trying to act like that is just so new, and these things have been going on for years and years and years. The only difference now is the media is just telling y'all every little detail to make y'all cry, to make y'all emotional, and things like this. But this stuff has been happening all along, because at the end of the day, these leaders have to make some very just tough decisions that the average person would not be able to make. And that's why some of these crybabies, you don't need to be in politics. You don't need to do it. Sometimes people be telling me, Rhonda, you need to run for office. You need to be a representative. You need to be a politician. I'd be like, people wouldn't like me. I don't think people would like me if I was a politician, because I'm going to tell y'all what's real. I'm not holding back. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know, man. For real. I'd be unpopular, because I'd be like, look, we trying to change this city for the better. We trying to change the state for the better. You gonna barbecue a mildew. That's something I get. That's that country slang right there, y'all. You gonna barbecue a mildew. You staying or you leaving? What you doing? I wouldn't be out here playing with these folks, honestly. So I don't know. But anyway, it's definitely distractions for sure. But okay. So we'll see who the next crier will be because we have a long list. We have a long list of criers now. But all right, y'all. So Fredo. Fredo. That's how you say it. Fredo Cuomo. All right, so I'm just gonna recap the video. Most of y'all have probably seen it. Some of you may have not. But your boy Chris Cuomo. If y'all ever hear me say Andrew Cuomo, y'all know who I'm talking about. Does he have a brother named Andrew Cuomo or something? Where do I get that name from? But anyway, so Chris Cuomo was basically stopped by this guy who was picking at him, and he went on to, basically get mad at the guy. So, you have some language here. So y'all just be prepared for this, some strong language. And I was shook. I was taken aback because I just wasn't expecting Chris to be talking like that and, pumping his chest and whatnot. I was not expecting that. But a lot of these politicians, I guess just like, they're normal people at the end of the day, but a lot of these politicians have some really foul mouths, and you catch them on a hot mic or something like that, boy. Okay, thank you. I knew I wasn't crazy. I'm like, I know there's somebody named Andrew Cuomo. Okay, but all right. So we're talking about Chris. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this.
I thought that's who you were.
Oh, punk-ass bitches from the right call me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN. Fredo is from The Godfather. He was our weak brother.
Isn't that your
And they use it as an Italian aspersion. Any of you Italian? It's a fucking insult to your people. It's an insult to your fucking people. It's like the N-word for us. So is that a cool fucking thing?
You're a much more reasonable guy in person than you seem to be on television.
Yeah, but if you want to play, you want to fucking play. If you got something you want to say about what I do on television, then say it. But don't perform me.
Hey, listen.
What? Yeah, you're gonna have a big fucking problem.
What's the
It's a
problem?
little different on TV. Don't fucking insult me like that.
I didn't insult you.
You fucking call me Fredo. It's like I call you punk bitch. You like that? You want that to be your nickname?
I didn't call you that.
You called me Fredo. You know my name's not fucking Fredo.
I thought your name was.
You did not think my name was fucking Fredo. Don't be a liar. You want to be a liar and stand up like a man.
I'm standing up,
You
man.
want to be a man out here. Then fucking own it. Then own what you said.
Hey,
Then own what you said.
listen, man. I don't have a problem with you, man.
Yeah, you're gonna have a fucking problem.
What are you gonna do about it?
I'll fucking ruin
Do
your
something
shit.
then.
I'll fucking throw you down these stairs like a fucking punk.
Please do.
Why, so you
You
can
don't like
fucking sue?
You don't
So
like
you can fucking sue?
But why don't you do
Go
it?
take a swing. You wanna call me Fredo? Take a fucking swing.
I'm not gonna swing at
Take a
you.
fucking swing. Watch your fucking hands. Watch your fucking hands. Take a swing.
So Chris Cuomo is from New York, I'm guessing, right? I've never heard his accent that much. I guess it's the F word. Hey, Truth Seeker. But all his Italianness just came out in this clip. Like, I've just never noticed, I guess, really just paid attention to how he talks like that or whatever. But, okay, y'all can see the man, Chris was not having it. He was not feeling it. So let's be real, okay? Let's be real. The guys were trying to, agitate him. They were trying to be annoying. They were definitely picking at him. I would imagine that, by you being a news anchor, kind of nationally recognized everywhere he goes, he probably has people like you know, saying things to him and stuff like that. I don't know if this happens in person often because I haven't really seen any other scuffles with him or anything like that. But I'm sure people online, right? I'm sure people online may, you know, call him Fredo or whatever. So apparently Fredo is from the Godfather movie and refers to like the weak brother in the movie or something like that. Now, granted, I haven't seen the Godfather, but that's based on information that I received. But this is my thing. I'm so sick and tired of, you know, the everybody trying to have a struggle type thing. You know what I mean? Lavon said his Italian girlfriend laughed at him being called Fredo. Like, you have the audacity to compare this to the N-word? Really? I'm just like, I feel like at this point, it just everybody wants to pick a struggle. Everybody wants to be oppressed. Everybody wants to be mad about something, regardless of whether you. No, I've never seen a Godfather. Humble servant. I've never seen it. I might have to watch it now though, just to find out who the heck Fredo is. But okay, so Tanner said Fredo gets killed by his brother Michael for betraying a family. So everybody's telling me go watch The Godfather. So I guess I'll watch it one day. But this whole, you know, Fredo is like the N-word. You know what I mean? The ICE is like the KKK and like, you know, just all these other things. Can we stop? Seriously? Can we stop? Please? Like, at this point, it's annoying. And oftentimes, you have white people leading these freaking discussions. And I'm like, no, that's not how it goes. So I told y'all, these people try to create this net, like everybody's oppression is oppression, and if you attach black people to it or put black people at the face of as the face of it, now this solidifies the oppression or something like that. And I'm like, get a grip. It's really offensive. It's really offensive. I highly doubt Fredo is like the N-word. And just off simple observation, you said you didn't say that F word is like the N-word. You said Fredo is like the N-word. Whew, boy. I think he just mad because he's getting picked on. But don't do that. And then let me show y'all. You have him saying, you literally have somebody saying it. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all first, and we'll talk about it. Cause these people kill me. Oh, hold on.
Can I just file my nails? I mean, this is an entitled, rich, spoiled little brat who's only called.
Not to even mention that whole filing her nails bit was like, I mean, just disgusting. Like at this point, CNN is just like sometimes just a circus show. Like why would you, this lady is like Hispanic or something. Why would you what I really don't like, what I've noticed with her and Angela Rye and what's that other girl name that's now with Joe Biden, Simone. They always have this very feisty, whatever, which that's fine. But at a certain point, like you're filing your nails, you're, saying those little like catchphrases. And at some point, that CNN is putting certain people up here to look a certain way and almost sometimes come out very stereotypical, okay? And to get a certain reaction out of people. And I guess because it's CNN, people would think, oh, she's real. They're so real. They're relatable. They can relate to the people. But if you were to go over to Fox News and you see a Hispanic lady, let me file my nails in the middle of a news session, or rolling their necks, or some people say Angela Ross slipped and called the lady the B word. It was a little inaudible to me, but y'all know those moments that I'm talking about that they just, try to go viral with. And anyway, so there's just a bad look. So I don't even like that anyway. I feel like keep that same energy. Like if you don't like it for one, you don't like it for none. So, but anyway, okay, that's enough. But let's keep watching this.
Fame as being his daddy's son, who hasn't built anything of his own, who hasn't done anything of his own, who is somehow trying to hang on to the fame of his father in order to have some level of relevancy. Steve is right. He didn't even make the cut that his brother-in-law and sister did to be part of the Oval Office in the White House staff. Daddy kept Fredo back home. So who cares what Donald Trump Jr. says? Who cares what
So this was them talking about Donald Trump Jr. And I'm not fully familiar with this clip. Like I said, I don't really necessarily watch CNN unless it's something that like it's a topic and I want to know more about it. And so I specifically go to see what they're saying about it. But I don't regularly watch CNN. So I hadn't just seen this full clip. I really know the full context of what's going on in this story. But nonetheless, they were referring to Donald Trump Jr. as Fredo. Now, Chris Cuomo, if Fredo is equivalent to the N-word, you just let this lady call Donald Trump Jr. the N-word on national TV on your show, and you didn't even bat an eye. You literally didn't bat an eye. You didn't say anything. You didn't address it. The other guy on here laughed. You know what I mean? So I'm just the type of person like, make it make sense. What goes for one goes for all. Like if that language is as strong to you, because the N-word is strong language. You know what I mean? Like literally, you're not going to catch people saying that on national TV. Not in a news segment. So just make it make sense. Be consistent. I understand you in your feels because people picking on you or whatever, but stop trying to use black people or black people's struggle as some type of shield for everything else everybody else got going on. It's just annoying at this point. Like every single struggle, they tried to make black people the freaking face of I always talk about this, believe all women. Tried to make black people the face of now somehow what's going on at the border, that's Black Americans' problem. How? So this is what they do. People had started saying gay is the new black and stuff like that. No, it's not. Like, what do you mean? Comparing ICE to the freaking KKK? We're literally talking about people who lynched people, hung them up in a town square by their freaking genitals and lynched them in front of the whole town and their families. Like, it's just offensive at this point. Like, stand on your own 2 feet. You know what I mean? If that's how you feel it on your own merit. But stop doing it. Like, everybody's trying to ride off the backs of Black people with something. And at this point, it's just using Black people. And I be trying to get people to, like, see that. If y'all literally think these people sitting up here genuinely have a care for you, I don't like to be the one. I don't like to be the one. You know, I try to be real sweet to y'all. You know, come in here with my, you know, I got my little Southern girl thing going on, you know, but let's just keep it real. These people do not genuinely care about y'all. Like, it's like every move they make, I don't know, it just seems so like opportune, and everybody's trying to get their next viral moment. Everybody has an agenda. And this is why I tell people, man, like, as much as I talk about politics is not the end all be all, because at the end of the day, what I want people to really, really leave my channel with is that, honestly, most of these people are not trustworthy. They're just not. They're not trustworthy. They're not consistent. They have conflicting views. They use you. They try to manipulate you. They try to emotionalize you. And at the end of the day, they all doing it for their agenda, their gain. So you have to care about yourself. You have to protect yourself. You have to be for your own self-interest, your own community, what's going on in your own life. Like, if you don't, who else will? These are the people y'all trust? Like, really? I mean, I just don't get it. Like, some of the stuff just does not make sense. It just, like, I'm starting to learn that these people, they're just never consistent. They're never consistent. Even like what I see on social media, what I was talking about, I was telling y'all last week how you got people sitting up here talking about Trump a Nazi, but then you want Nazis to come ban guns. Like, fundamentally, it makes no sense. It just doesn't make sense. So, child, let me stop sharing these. But hey to everybody that just came in the room. But I like, if people leave my channel with nothing else, man, nothing else, like, when you start to see how these people move, from the politicians to the news anchors and the pundits, like, even down to the freaking FBI, you know what I mean? You got a lot of just corrupt people, man. Like, even we about to go a little bit into this Jeffrey Epstein now thing. But even with this, like, some of the stuff that's going on is unbelievable. And they're doing it right in front of our faces, man. If they can do this stuff and get away with it right in front of our freaking faces, man, just imagine the stuff we don't know. Just imagine the stuff we don't know. Seriously. I mean, it gets deep. It gets deep. And if this can happen right before the American public, I want to say I'm shocked. Like, it's almost scary. Because this is playing out. This whole Jeffrey Epstein thing is playing out right in front of our eyes. Oh, but I want to talk about this. One more thing about this whole Chris Cuomo thing. And since we're talking about guns too, let me show y'all this, because I was talking about this last week as well. But so Trump tweeted this. would Chris Cuomo be giving a red flag for his recent rant? Filthy language and a total loss of control. He shouldn't be allowed to have any weapon. He's nuts. Now, so as I'm reading this, it sounds like sarcasm, right? To me. I would think it's sarcasm. But then, like I was telling y'all last week, Trump supports red flag laws. And so I went into explaining what that means. And so basically for me to kind of just wrap it up in a nutshell as easily as possible, red flag laws basically allows the government, which could be the police or it could be your family, right? To say, they can say, Chris Cuomo, just because of that one little incident, right? And stuff happens. People are people. I don't even just think that was a big deal. Sometimes people be in public and you have little back and forth, whatever. Nobody got hurt. They went on about their business. I mean, I didn't think it was that deep as far as people are trying to make it. But anyway, so red flags would basically be like, so somebody saw how Chris Cuomo just acted in public. So they could go to the police, go before a judge or whatever, and basically be like, this guy is unstable. I have the video to prove he's unstable. He's suicidal. He's been threatening people, blah, 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 blah. And then don't actually be on some type of, antidepressants, which you got so many freaking people out here on anyway. So don't actually be on some antidepressants or any type of, drugs or anything like that, because that can basically help that person's case. So now the judge within those couple of days can take your gun for those couple of days, take your firearms, and then turn around and decide how long they'll keep your firearms, if they'll return them to you or whatever the case may be. So now you have Donald Trump saying like this. So on one hand, it could be like, oh, are you trying to prove a point? Because you could use this situation to be like, see, somebody could be like, oh, look at Chris Cuomo, he's unstable. You know what I mean? So, people could try to use red flag laws against them. But then when I know Donald Trump actually promotes and supports red flag laws, it's like, what's going on? So this whole tweet, I just don't understand. But that whole red flag law thing and all this stuff Trump has been saying with, gun laws and stuff like that, to me is real iffy. Some people saying he's playing politics, but see, this right here, this is just confusing to me. I don't know how you're trying to prove a point about something that you just said you promoted. Like, I don't get that. But he's been real like questionable when it comes to, like the Second Amendment and stuff like that. Some of the stuff he says and stuff like that, which I've showed y'all in previous videos. So I don't know. But I just thought that was weird. Edward I've said this would be bad for blacks. Not only that, right? Because you also have the police who can just say, oh, this person is a threat. This person is suicidal. This person is not safe, blah, blah, blah. But like somebody brought up last week, I think that was Cajun, saying it'll also be bad for veterans as well. You have to think about how many of these veterans are on these different drugs and stuff like this, medications. So we'll see. My homegirl texting me. We'll see what happens with that. With these whole, people calling for gun control and stuff like that. And y'all already know how I feel about that. It's crazy because I was just watching. So I really like to watch like Tupac interviews and stuff like that, because I just feel like, you know, for him to have been at such a young age, he was just very smart. And I feel like he was just very, very passionate and stuff like that. So I really respect him and his I didn't know I was still sharing, y'all. I really respect him and his legacy or something like that. And I need to post this on my Instagram at some point. But I was watching an interview that he did, and he was basically like, you know, people think that I'm gonna have to post that interview somewhere. But he was like, you have a lot of these people in the inner city. People assume that everybody there, you know, some people, not all people, but some people may assume, you know, this is just a unsafe place to live. He was talking about how when you have certain people that get out of jail and these people are not rehabilitated, they go back into the inner cities, the hoods or whatever like that. So he was like, you got a lot of Black people staying in these neighborhoods and we scared of the same thing y'all scared of. We trying to protect ourselves from the same people y'all trying to protect yourselves from. So literally it's no different, but there was a really good interview and I just happened to be watching it today. So, but I just happened to be watching it today or whatever. Thank you, Terrence Hill. Yeah, I did an interview. When was that? Last week. I did an interview last week with Gab, and it went really good. It's in my community tab. Or you can probably search like RhondaMary Talks with Gab. It was really good. He's a great interviewer, you know, and it went well. I really liked it. I've been getting some really good feedback on it, and I might end up posting it here as well. If y'all haven't seen it. But thank you, Terrence Hill. And somebody, let me see. I saw it. Okay. Stephen Scott, thank you. He said, please watch The Godfather 1 and 2. Okay. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch Godfather, y'all. Yeah, right. Talking about Tupac was a whack rapper. I don't have time for that, yo, right? I really don't. Y'all be hating. Whether you like his music or not, I think he had a huge impact on hip hop. And then if you actually go back and watch his interviews, like I really, really like his interviews. Like Tupac and Malcolm X are two people who are no longer living, but I really like to go and watch their interviews or whatever. But anyway. All right, y'all. So, hey, Justin. Hip Hop Independence said, will you be attending the Black Leadership Summit in DC? No, I wasn't planning on it. I wasn't planning on attending. He said it's in October. You right, Twisted Sister. Twisted Sister said, Second Amendment states firmly shall not be infringed. You're absolutely right, but people are going to continue to push that needle further and further. And I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. If I'm not with it, I'm not with it. So, but we'll see what happens to that. I'm sure Trump will probably be a little better than a lot of the Democrat politicians would be, you know, according to some people, but I don't know. We'll see. But all right, so let's talk about this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. So I'm just going to talk about a few points. I did the video when the story initially broke. How conveniently Jeffrey Epstein was able to commit suicide. So if you don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is by now, I don't know where the heck you've been. Probably been on Mars for obviously the last maybe even couple months, but particularly now after he's committed suicide and allegedly. I'm gonna have to look into it, Hip Hop Independent, but thank you. I definitely look into it now. But yes, Cajun, I'm thinking about doing a video about that tomorrow. So yeah, I gotta talk about that. But anyway, so with Jeffrey Epstein, he allegedly committed suicide, right? So this guy was probably, I mean, this is a supposedly huge human trafficking ring, have affected hundreds of girls and young women. And he was an elitist that had all these different connections to a lot of people, like we're talking big name people. Like this man knew Donald Trump, he knew the Clintons, he knew Prince Andrew, he knew, I mean, just everybody, basically. So for this to happen, this is obviously like a great shock to a lot of people. My biggest thing is that before, where I wouldn't have really paid attention, like I would have been like, okay, you know, he committed suicide, he was connected to a lot of people, dang, that's crazy, that's messed up, and would have just went on about my life. But now knowing how the media is, how corrupt some of the people are in this government, to me, like, it's just completely alarming, but it's saddening because, you know, it's kind of like we're all watching this happen right before our eyes, and we kind of don't know what's going to happen. You have William Barr, you know, and Donald Trump saying that Barr will, you know, follow up on this, but at this point, we literally have to play it by ear and see what happens. But anyway, so first of all, there's no video. No video. Oh, let me show y'all this. There's no video of his suicide. No surveillance, okay? Hung himself in Lower Manhattan. Although there are cameras in the 9 South Wing where the convicted pedophile was being held at the Metropolitan Correctional Center, they are trained on the areas outside the cells and not inside. Poles who attended Sunday's annual Dominican Day Parade in Manhattan demanded answers to the many questions surrounding Epstein's Saturday morning death, which is being investigated by the FBI and the Justice Department. So he was found, this says nearly unconscious, in his cell with marks on his neck, as well as a blockbuster court papers that were released on Friday containing names of other men who slept with these, you know, teenage sex slaves. So I told y'all about some of the guys that were in there. So, New York Attorney General Letitia James said, my understanding is that he should have been on suicide watch, and the people on suicide watch are placed in a type of jumpsuit that wouldn't allow them to hurt themselves. Federal prison officials violated normal procedures by leaving Epstein, 66, alone without a cellmate and not checking on him every 30 minutes the night before he was found. In addition, both of the guards overseeing the unit were working overtime, with one of his 5th straight days of extra hours and the other forced to remain on duty. So Bob Hood, a former chief of internal affairs for the Bureau of Prisons, told the Times that it was beyond me why Epstein was taken off a 24-hour suicide watch following the July 23rd incident, especially given the steady stream of humiliating news reports about him. So there's been a lot of contradictory information that came out. Some people were saying, he was on suicide watch. Some people were saying he just came off suicide watch. The guards were supposedly working overtime, right? So I guess that's trying to suggest that they're so freaking tired or they're not doing their job because of this overtime and things like this. They were supposed to check on him every 30 minutes. They weren't doing that. And then after somebody comes off of suicide, y'all probably didn't know this, but after somebody comes off of suicide watch, they are literally supposed to have a cellmate. Just conveniently, Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate was moved out. So conveniently, the cameras don't work. Conveniently, his cellmate is gone. Conveniently, the guards have been overworked. So they're too tired to do their job. Like, none of this just makes sense. All right. Then you have a former inmate who says there's no way Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. This is according to the New York Post. All right, so this person, basically, this is an ex-convict who was in this same facility who chose to remain anonymous. But he was also in the same unit for high-profile prisoners, y'all. We're not talking about, a Rudy Pool security cop. We're not talking about a mall cop. We're not talking about the security cops at the Holy Moly Donut shop. Like, let's be real. These are high level officers that are securing high profile people. So I feel like some of this stuff is literally just an insult to our intelligence. Like, I'm actually offended by some of the details that are coming out. But anyway, so this is according to the NY Post, and so this is according to the guy that had previously been in this facility. So he said, there's no way that man could have killed himself. I've done too much time in those units. It's an impossibility. Between the floor and the ceiling is like 8 or 9 feet. There's no way for you to connect to anything. You have sheets, but they're paper level, not strong enough. He was 200 pounds. It would never happen. Do y'all know? This makes me think about, do y'all some of y'all might not know, but like some doctor offices, when you're sitting there waiting for the doctor, they give you like a little paper blanket to kind of just put over you. I don't know. This makes me think of that. I'm not really exactly sure like what the sheets are supposed to look like, but according to this guy, they were like paper sheets. He said he was 200 pounds. It would never happen. When you're on suicide watch, they put you in this white smock, a straitjacket. They know a person cannot be injurious to themselves. The clothing they give you is a jump-in uniform. Everything is a dark brown color. Could he have done it from the bed? No, sir. There's a steel frame, but you can't move it. There's no light fixture. There's no bars. They don't give you enough in there that could successfully create an instrument of death. You want to write a letter, they give you rubber pens and maybe once a week a piece of paper. Nothing hard or made of metal. There's up to 80 people there. They could put 2 in a cell. It's 1 or 2. But I'll never believe this guy had a cellmate. He was too blown up. The damage that unit can do to someone. It's like you're an animal and you've been brought into a kennel. A guy like Jeffrey is like holy-ish. I told my parents not to come there. God wasn't in the building. I've had some heavy incidents in that building. What happened is permanent. Some of the guards are on a major power trip. They know the guys there are suffering. They know something the rest of the world hasn't seen, that a place like this exists in the country, and they get off on it. If the guards see that the guy is breaking, they're going to help you break. But it's my firm belief that Jeffrey Epstein did not commit suicide. It just didn't happen. So, I read another article and I wish I could have found this article, but it basically said that let's stop sharing. So the article basically said that supposedly, allegedly, there was this bed, right? He took these sheets, which are supposed to be paper sheets, because these people deal with this all the time. Like, come on now. There are going to be regulations and things in place that are there to prevent people from committing suicide. But supposedly, he took this sheet, right? He couldn't, as I just saw there, couldn't put it on the ceiling or anything like that. But according to this other source, and this was an official source, he tied the sheet around his neck, tied the sheet to the bed, planted his feet on the ground, and then leaned forward. This is what they want us to believe. Now, if you know anything about human life, literally just in general, you know that naturally it is innate within us to, if you are dying, to do, like, your body literally goes into fight or flight in those last moments of despair, trauma, and your body is going to do everything it can to basically save itself. Okay? Your body is literally going to do everything it can to basically save itself. So you telling me that this man hung himself, and just like the 4 horsemen just said, hung himself to his bunk bed and bent at the knees and just basically stayed there. Y'all believe it? So I feel like with everything that's going on in the media, I feel like for people to not be suspicious and to not wonder is very problematic. Okay, there I am. But I think for people to know how shady and how corrupt this government can be, these people in high positions, these elitists, is so much going on. It's so much going on out here. Like, if anybody watching this thinks this may be too hard to believe, I don't even want to tell y'all about some of the things that I know or that I'm aware of that I don't even bother talking about on this channel, just because YouTube is literally already trying to censor me. Some of these celebrities and politicians, the stuff that they're caught up in and do and say, like, I just don't even waste time going into it, because literally you would have it where my channel would be categorized as a conspiracy theory channel, which really, when people say conspiracy theory, they're really just using that to try to negate everything you're saying, which is actually offensive when you know how this government and how this society operates. It's actually offensive. I think it's something more wrong with the people that don't question this. Like, it's literally something wrong, because everything is just too convenient. Everything is just too opportune. It's just too convenient. He just conveniently just came off of Suicide Watch. He just conveniently, the day before the whole deposition where all of these names came out, just conveniently the camera stopped working. Just conveniently his cellmate was gone. Just conveniently the guards just happened to be just so tired and just so overworked. I don't see anything conspiracy about questioning this at all. And honestly, I don't know if they get away with this, whoever they may be. I just any type of hope I have in these high level criminals being held accountable, I just don't know. I just really don't know. Four Horsemen said a conspiracy theory, a term the CIA came up with so you wouldn't question government official stories after the JFK assassination. And then also something YouTube has started doing is that some of these conspiracy theories that have got super popular, now they will try to counter that by placing their official information under those YouTube videos, or they will completely suppress them or remove them. And it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that you want a population that doesn't think, doesn't question, and only takes certain information. Like, to me, it just doesn't make sense. And then let me show y'all these pictures as well. So this was supposedly Jeffrey Epstein being taken out on a stretcher. And so some of the reports, and this is like, some of this is just not making sense, y'all, but some of the reports were saying that he was found dead in the cell, right? But then I told y'all some reports were saying that he was found, like, I guess, like unconscious, unresponsive. Excuse me. They say he was found unresponsive. So this is supposedly Jeffrey Epstein here. Now, in the event that he was found dead in a cell, which I thought that was the official story, I don't know why they would carry him out where, first of all, I've never seen a dead person come out of anywhere that's not covered. That's number one. Or, receiving breathing treatment either. Like I just haven't seen it. This picture here, I don't know, his skin looks like really weird. It does seem like the color his skin would be from, like, I don't know, losing oxygen or something like that. But I don't know, his skin looks so dark, like he had maybe been sitting there for hours. I don't know, it's weird. But some people are saying that this photo looks odd. They're saying that they don't believe these photos are real. Another thing I noticed is that I only found these pictures for the most part like on the New York Post and kind of floating around social media. I didn't find a lot of news sources picking them up, which I also thought was kind of weird, right? Because wouldn't you want to confirm in people's minds that he was like dead or something? I don't know. Some people are saying the proportions in this photo is not real. They're saying this photo is not real. His proportions looks off or something like that compared to like the rest of his body, and just like, cause the further, okay, y'all. So I do Photoshop and I know a lot about photography and stuff like this. So I just want to make this quick point. Hopefully y'all can follow what I'm trying to say. But the further you are in the background, whatever furthest in the background usually looks smaller in proportions to what's closer in the foreground. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess the picture looks kind of weird, but, some people are saying it's fake. I don't know. Some people saying it's Photoshop. I've been telling y'all to keep y'all eyes on this whole deep fake and Photoshop stuff. I think that is being somewhat supported by the media and the government as well. But they're trying to make us think like outside entities are doing it. So, but okay. So 4 Horsemen said he wasn't pronounced dead until he reached the hospital. But like I said, it's just a lot of conflicting stories. It's just some really like weird things going on. I really hope that they don't push this to the side. Because y'all know how this goes. Y'all know how the media can be. We own one thing really tough, and then the next thing you know, everybody just moves on with their life. People don't really follow up on stories, particularly the mainstream media. They never follow up on stories like I would think they should. You know what I mean? Because they go on to plant these different things in our psyche, and they don't come back to correct the stories or just further the narrative or anything like that, which I think is weird. But me, for sure, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this. But, it's kind of really like made me feel some type of way because, like I said, this is literally happening right before our eyes on a national stage. And everybody's kind of watching, and I already don't have a great deal of faith in the government like that. Like I really don't. But to see something happen like this, it really helps to solidify how I feel about people in these positions doing these high level crimes and getting away with things while you have people in their homes or in their freaking neighborhood smoking weed, and you'll send them to jail for years. You know what I mean? So a lot of times I think we get caught up in distractions, stuff that doesn't really matter. He said this, she said this. And a lot of times I think the media tries to prop us up to, argue back and forth about, pro-illegal immigration, anti-illegal immigration, pro-gun, anti-gun, and stuff like this. And while we're talking about all this, going back and forth, you thinking the person right down the street from you is your enemy, but really, y'all are being propped up to carry out these agendas that's really not even your own when you sit back and think about it. I just feel like it just be a lot of sleight of hand going on and a lot of distractions for that reason, because you have a lot of people doing these high-level crimes and getting away with these very heinous and murderous crimes. So we'll keep our eye on it. I for sure will be doing a follow-up on this story if we get more information, because this is definitely nothing I just want to see go away that easily. I don't know. It's like I almost want to just confirm my belief that just maybe, just maybe these people will be held accountable, and it's hope that some of this stuff that's going on behind the scenes can be sorted out. But we'll see. We'll see how it happens and what happens. But anyway, oh yeah, and that was another good point, Tanner. Tanner said the news story is that someone posted it on 4chan prior to the news coming out. So that was another thing. So supposedly this was posted on 4chan before the official story broke, which a lot of people were concerned about that as well, and saying like, how did it happen? Who was the source? Where was this information coming from? And stuff like that. So it's just a lot of odd stuff about this story or whatever. But we'll see what happens. Before I get out of here, y'all make sure y'all definitely give me a thumbs up on this video so we can help, hopefully, the algorithm at least share the video a little bit. And as always, thank y'all for the super chats. Thank y'all for rocking with me on this Tuesday. I am going to make a video, should be tomorrow, about what's going on in Hong Kong as well. So I'm definitely going to be talking about that soon, since we didn't talk about that. Since we didn't talk about that tonight or whatever. For husband said, "Hey Rhonda, did you hear the Overstock CEO interview?" I don't think I heard that, but I'll check into it now though. But all right, y'all, I am about to get out of here, y'all. For husband said, delivered to the Department of Justice a number of documents, including emails and text messages in April regarding Clinton's. Edward Ivy said they're not telling us the truth. That's why there are so many conspiracy theories. And that's another thing. Like, if we just had a truthful media that just tell people the actual truth, like, stop all the freaking politicking. Like, I never understood. This is just me, just my thinking. I never understood why you need a news channel dedicated to Republicans and a news channel dedicated to Democrats. Like, I never understood that. Like, I just feel like the truth is the truth, and I don't necessarily need your opinion propped on top of it. So that within itself, like, to me, when you just look at things like from the outside looking in, like, just, I don't know, the dichotomy of it, and just, I just never understood the whole concept of me, and just that within itself to me is just problematic and says a lot within itself. So, but yeah, it definitely wouldn't be as many conspiracy theories if people didn't, if the media didn't lie. And honestly, I think this case in particular is going to open up a lot of people's eyes, because hopefully it'll make people curious and want to know, like, how can this happen? You know what I mean? And once you see this happening, you'll begin to notice a lot of other things that are happening or that have happened that's just not right. So hopefully this will open a lot of people's eyes. I hope so. But all right, child, let me get out of here. I got people texting me, people I gotta call back. Let me get on up out of here. But y'all have a awesome Tuesday night. I'll be doing a video very soon about Hong Kong, because I want that to be just a shorter, straight to the point video that's easy to watch. But y'all have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.